What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video. And I'm just checking in on you. How you doing? I hope everyone had a great weekend. This is going to be your Manic Mondays episode for Monday, August 2nd. So what we do in these Manic Monday episodes is we do like a little news update. I'll talk about what's new with me from the past week. I'll talk about what I've seen that's new with other content creators within our own little Division universe bubble. And then I will finish off with talking about either developers or what's going on with the games within the Division, universe bubble. But if all that sounds good and you are interested, don't forget to sit back, relax, grab your popcorn, and make sure you hit that like, subscribe if you're new, and let me know in the comment section below what you think. This is all about discussion, so let me know in the comments and we can open up a dialogue. But alright, so let's see. Manic Mondays. We're going to start off with me. So what's new about me within, the last week or so? So new with me is I reached out to Red Storm and their developers over there about the Division Heartland over the weekend. And I asked basically, are you going to start a ambassador program, basically to bring the community together, because we all know, and we did see with, games like Outriders, where they had a huge ambassador program and Outriders blew up for the first, few weeks. Obviously, Outriders is a completely different game, completely different universe, and, well, we all see where that game ended up. However, the Ambassador program did help out the game. It did bridge the gap between the developers and the consumers, and it also helped out the content creators and promoting the game. And I was trying to see if the Division Heartland was going to do the exact same thing, like get some creators together, basically be under some sort of ambassador program where maybe they get the game, a day early. That way they can, promote it as hardcore as they can, or maybe they get, say some play testing footage. That way they can promote the game. But basically the ambassador program is for the content creators to essentially work with the dev team and not only give them, feedback, whether it be positive or negative, but to also help promote their product. Because, that's all this is. Whether we're on YouTube or Twitch making, positive videos or negative videos, it's still publicity, and it still does help out that game. Whether you think it's in a negative light or a positive light, that game and, that company is still happy that you are making content and promoting that, game. So I asked Red Storm and the developers over there about this, and I actually got a like from the director of Heartland. But unfortunately, they're not talking. So we'll see where this goes. Obviously, it is what it is, but I will say that every few weeks or so, I do reach out to these developers and these, games that what I think, whether it be about an ambassador program, whether it be about additional content, whether it be about bugs in the game or quality of life or, getting some sort of news. I try to reach out to these dev teams and hope that they'll, say something, because we all know that, if they say anything, they are liable not only from their own job, but the backlash that the community has for them. I mean, take Yannick, for example, or take, some of the massive devs, for example, where they'll say one thing and then you'll see 5 or 6 videos on YouTube. Oh my God, did you hear that dude said manhunts? Oh shit, manhunts. Oh, burp, burp, burp. And then the guy gets in trouble and has to delete that tweet. And it's because the community is so keen to jumping down their throats, whether it be good news or bad news. They don't care. They're all about how they can spin it to make content, and it works. It works a lot, especially if it's negative and or toxic. That gets all the views. Trust me. But as far as Heartland, I did get the director Terry Spire to come out. He liked some of the responses that other content creators had on my Twitter post, and he just liked it in general. But we'll see. We have not gotten any news as of yet, but I don't know. There's something around the corner, and I will touch on that here in a second. So, over the weekend, I did that. I reached out to Heartland, and then I also reached out to XDefiant. Yes, I know. A lot of you are going to already post some hate comments about XDefiant down below. But what you fail to realize, if you're one of those, negative Nancys, if you fail to realize that Tom Clancy's XDefiant has nothing to do with the Division universe. So reaching out to them is a completely different ballgame than reaching out to, say, Terry Spire and, Heartland. Because Heartland is in the Division universe, and it is a part of our little, our circle. You know what I mean? Whether it be, developers and content creators, or just consumers or fans of the Division universe. So, back to XDefiant. I reached out on Twitter as well to XDefiant devs and Ubisoft San Francisco about an ambassador program as well, because we all have seen the negative backlash that XDefiant has gotten recently. Except for, we'll exclude a few content creators that are, super hyped about it, but overwhelmingly it's had some pretty negative feedback just because of how similar it looks to other games. But we've seen this happen with Heartland. Heartland leaked footage that was like way early alpha testing leaked footage. Showed this guy on PC that wasn't really playing the game, obviously was not showing the mechanics at all, and people were blowing up. Oh, this looks like a rip-off of this, or oh, the mechanics look like that. And, that's just how these games get all this negative feedback. I mean, look at Outriders, for example. Outriders came out with a demo for a full month that you could play for free, level up, get your legendaries, what have you. And what happened? We saw all the negative feedback about how Outriders look like Gears of War, how, Heartland looks too much like Division, even though it is Division, and how, XDefiant looks like Call of Duty. Or how could they take a game mode from Overwatch? How dare they? Or, oh my gosh, did you see it's a Division map? They're just ripping off Division. And they're getting all this negative press for no reason. They're taking what they have at Ubisoft, they're taking all of their assets and IPs, and they're like, how can we expand this? How can we get into different parts of the market? And one person up there at Ubisoft was probably like, well, we don't have a first-person shooter that can compete with things like Call of Duty and, Overwatch. So what did they do? They were like, oh, well, we have some developers from Activision that now work for us. Why don't we just spin it and make a Tom Clancy first-person shooter that has all of the elements from all of our different games and IPs, and then we can compete with Call of Duty and Overwatch with our own, properties. And I think as a business, this is a perfect thing for them to do. It highlights that they are serious. It highlights that just the company in general, they are branching out and they are going to do several different projects in several different categories at once to try to get as many consumers as possible. Whether that be a looter shooter, whether that be a free-to-play first-person shooter, whether that be a free-to-play, battle royale type game, whether that be a mobile game, they're obviously reaching out to better their business as a whole. Now, reaching out to the XDefiant team and asking them about the ambassador program, my ambitions are, if they have an ambassador program, maybe, just maybe, they can pull, creators from, say, Rainbow Six Siege. They could pull creators from Ghost Recon. They could pull creators from the Division universe. They could pull creators from Call of Duty Warzone, and try to get, some sort of ambassador program with all of these different, creators with all of these different types of communities, and try to bring them together. I think as a business, that would be the smartest thing they could do. That way they can try to increase the positivity and, show people that it's not just a Call of Duty ripoff, that, it's going to have things that are different from Call of Duty and Overwatch, and it's going to involve, characters and locations from, different parts of the Ubisoft Tom Clancy universe that we've never seen like this before. Like, I saw, what was that, Manning National Zoo first-person shooter map? That looked amazing. Or the New York City style from Div 1 as a map looked amazing. What was another map that they used? I think it was Air and Space Museum from DC. Again, looked amazing. These are great ideas, but I think as a consumer, we are fixated on this, oh, well, that just looks like this game, and if I don't like that game, I'm really not going to like this game. And I believe a lot of it, really blew up on Outriders, where a lot of people were like, dude, this looks like a weird Gears of War. And even I myself was not a fan of the whole, run and gun tumble thing. And, rightfully so, but the game was solid. It's not like Gears of War at all, really. And with their ambassador program, it helped make that game launch, to the new heights that they did. Now, same thing kind of with XDefiant. Everyone is like, oh, well, this just looks like Call of Duty and Overwatch, and if I don't like Call of Duty and Overwatch, I'm definitely not going to like this game. And my little defense, or my little, thought bubble here is, if you've ever remembered Gotham City Imposters. Now, Gotham City Imposters was a first-person shooter, a Batman game that was kind of like Call of Duty. Now, this was out, several years back, and you're probably going to have to Google it. But the premise of this is, it was a pretty cheap, it wasn't free, but it was cheap. It was a cheap, arcade-style game where you just played multiplayer. There was no campaign, there was no backstory. It was either you're a Batman imposter or you're a Joker imposter, and you're fighting each other. Whether it be, capture the flag, team deathmatch, anything like that. And it was a lot of fun. I had so much fun playing that game, because it had these little Batman and Joker elements that were hilarious to me, and it was the same sort of game style and mechanics as Call of Duty. It was simple. I already knew those mechanics, and I got to enjoy, the little details even more. I loved it. Now, that's how I'm trying to stay as a headspace. I'm trying to stay there with XDefiant. Okay, I already know the mechanics to Overwatch. I already know the mechanics to Call of Duty. So, why wouldn't I want to play something like that with characters and locations that I actually really enjoy, like The Division? I think it's going to be awesome. Uh-oh. Oh, no! Let's see how much armor it gives me back. Oh, this shield is insane! There we go. Ooh, I almost got full armor back on that. That was cool. There we go. Alright, so anyways. So that's how I'm feeling about XDefiant, where I feel like it's going to be like this Call of Duty mashup, okay, of course it is, it looks like it, but it's going to have all of these environmental details and character details that we do enjoy. And I feel like that's really going to expand Ubisoft as a whole. And doing an ambassador program would be, a great business idea, marketing idea on their point. So that's why I reached out to them. And actually, same thing as Heartland. I had a few developers from Ubisoft San Francisco like that as well. So hopefully one of the two, if not both, will get some sort of ambassador program. But we can, we're just going to have to wait and see. All right. So that was what was new. Let's see. Is there anything else new with me this week? I think that was it. I did watch that Jungle Cruise movie, and that thing was pretty hilarious. Just saying. All right, moving on. So what's new with other content creators? Okay. Let's see here. So, last week, it was different from our, Manic Mondays. On that Tuesday, the very next day, we did a 8 content creator raid. So there were 8 different content creators. We all got together and we did a few raids together. We did this to try to get Sergeant Graybeard and Eagle Bearer. If you haven't been tracking for like the last, 3 weeks, maybe a month, we've been streaming with Sergeant Graybeard every week to get him the Eagle Bearer. And for some reason, we just can't get this guy the Eagle Bearer. Well, last week, we had 8 content creators get together, and Rogue Gold actually got the Eagle Bearer to drop. However, and if you go back to the stream, you'll be able to see it. However, when Rogue Gold got the Eagle Bearer to drop, Sergeant Graybeard was at the White House, and we were all at Razorback, and he was not able to share it with them because he was not in the area when it dropped for Rogue Gold. So now we know we can prevent that from happening next time, but we're still on the hunt to getting Sergeant Graybeard his Eagle Bearer, and then we're going to jump over to Iron Horse, try to get him a Ravenous and a Regulus. So that's new with them. One of the creators went on Twitter and poked at Yannick and the dev team for Massive and was asking for any sort of news at all, because if you haven't noticed, the Division game on Twitter, they keep posting things and they keep doing, like community engagement things where, they'll keep you, up to speed on what's going on with the game right now, whether it be season activities, community posts, things like that. And one of these creators responded with, can you just give us like an update? Can you just some sort of news? Like, we appreciate, the community, highlights and posts, but we want an update. And Yannick, I keep telling everyone that if you want to hear anything about this game that is concrete, you need to talk to Yannick. Yannick is the acting director for the Division 2 from here on out. So all new content, all additional anything, whether it be updates, patches, expansions, DLCs, whatever they end up doing, we all know that Yannick is the one in charge. He is the director. We also know that Massive is the dev team that is working on everything that is still in the Division right now. So quality of life, manhunts, apparel events, things of that nature, Massive has control over. However, all of the additional content will be from Ubisoft Bucharest. And if you go onto Twitter, they are Ubisoft Bucharest with the tag Ubisoft Romania. So just remember that. That is the dev team that is working on the additional content, the new game mode, and whatever else they end up adding to the game. Now, Massive, they are working with what is in the game right now. So right now we have, seasons going on, we have manhunts, we have global events, we have leagues, apparel events, what have you. Massive is taking care of that. They still have the game, they're still updating the game. But new additional stuff that will be added to this game is all going to be developed Ubisoft Bucharest in Romania. Alright, so with that being said, this creator reached out and said, it's nice having these community things, but when are we going to have some sort of timeline or additional content or anything at all? Like, hit us up. And Yannick responded basically how, he has for the last few months. And it is, we're still on track with, our timeline. We're still going to bring it to you guys by the end of the year. There's nothing, completely concrete enough for him to say anything. So because of that, he's not going to say really anything. And that's kind of been like the open-ended statement every time someone asks him a question. Like, they're on track, everything's still looking good, and when he has, some good concrete, things, he'll end up releasing it. And I feel as if Red Storm and Terry Spire are doing the same thing. They're keeping as quiet as possible because nothing is completely concrete. They don't want to give you a timeline because what if they don't make it? Or they don't want to tell you what's going to happen because what if, it doesn't end up happening? And we saw this with, what was the thing last year? Codename Nightmare. That's right. So the Codename Nightmare was supposed to be a brand new, never before seen like game mode event that's going to happen in Kinley College, and it was supposed to be like this whole like immersive thing, bringing everyone back to Kinley for this cool event, and it ended up never happening. They did like an E3 thing on it, I believe, or was it Ubisoft Forward? They marketed it, everything, and then a few months later they had to come back and say, hey guys, that Operation Nightmare is not going to end up happening. What's going to happen instead is we'll just give you a apparel event. And I guarantee that the developers, were really kicking themselves because they marketed what they were supposed to give us and they were never able to deliver. So whether it be a fan of the game or a developer of the game, the disappointment there was truly high. I mean, even when they did a state of the game on it, Yannick was really upset. You could see it just in his mannerisms and the way he was talking. The second that he had to say it's going to be canceled and all we're going to get is a apparel event, you could just tell that they were upset. And I think they're not trying to recreate that. They don't want to tell us something and then come back and say, oh, we can't do that. So instead of telling us anything at all, they're going to make us wait and then just give us the final product when, it's ready, which is a good thing. I understand we've been waiting for 10 months now since the last major update. I mean, I think I played the Summit just about a year ago whenever we were doing some playtesting for the Summit. And it's been nearly a year and we haven't gotten anything at all. So I completely understand the pain that they're putting us through. However, I also understand as a business, they don't want to say something and then not be able to deliver. So they're kind of like taking a card out of Disney and they're just not going to say anything at all until the last month or the last 3 weeks so that they can hype it up and then get all their money. Because we did see with the Heartland leak that there was so much negativity that it probably hurt, whatever they were trying to do. And you don't want that, especially when the game is not finished and, you're still trying to get playtests for it. You do not want, someone to leak it and then everybody in the community hate it. And that's kind of what they got. They had a whole bunch of people in the community just shitting on it just because of a leaked way early alpha test footage that didn't really show anything. You know, and they definitely are trying to shy away from that. So, yeah, in closing, I think that Yannick's response didn't answer anything. It didn't tell us anything that we did not already know. We know that they're still planning to give us whatever it is by the end of this year. We are still, you know, well aware that it's on track, on schedule, and we know who's in charge. We know it's Yannick with Ubisoft Massive and Ubisoft Bucharest. So all we have to do is wait. And like I said last week and the week before that, if there's anybody that you need to be following to see, you know, if and when we are getting this content, it's going to be Yannick. Yannick is the acting director. He is working directly with these dev teams for everything that is coming out for the Division 2. All of the other directors are moved on to other stuff. Julian is on the Julian Garrity is on the Star Wars project. Terry Spire is on the Heartland project. Magnus is on the Avatar project. So we have all these directors that did work with the Division that are all on different things, except for Yannick. Yannick is the acting director for everything Division 2 from here on out. So just remember that. Let me think. For XDefiant, news on that. They are doing the early playtesting this weekend. Let me look at my phone. I believe it's in 3 days, actually. So today's the 2nd. On the 5th, they said, so Thursday. By Thursday, they are starting the play testing for XDefiant. And remember that it's PC first, and it's like North America region first, so US and Canada. And it's going to be on PC first. So August 5th, they're starting playtesting. It's going to be on PC, and it's going to allow all of the US and Canada playtesters to open it up and have fun. Now, I myself have not yet gotten an email or anything for XDefiant playtesting as of yet. I know it's a few days away, so maybe they're doing it last second. But let me know in the comment section below if you have already gotten your email and you're, you know, set up to playtest XDefiant. Because as of right now, I have not heard anybody getting any sort of confirmation about this playtest. We all know that with the world, you know, reveal of XDefiant, that they are doing the playtesting starting August 5th. But since that big announcement, a lot of us have signed up for it, but none of us have heard anything back. So let me know in the comments, you know, if you have and when. That way we can gauge it, and I can reach out to my other creators and see what's up. Let's see. Anything else? So I talked about me. I talked about the other creators. And what about the development teams? Well, I've already talked about Yannick, I've already talked about Terry, and I've talked about XDefiant. I think that might be it, everyone. If there is something I've missed from this past week of, you know, Division Universe or Tom Clancy Universe news, let me know in the comment section below. That way I can, you know, figure it out. Now, don't forget, I'm doing other videos today and, you know, every day during the week, and also streams at night. So make sure you are subscribed with notifications on. That way you don't miss another video and or stream. But that's it. I think I'm going to end my Manic Mondays episode for August 2nd. Hope you enjoyed it. I am Kamikazevondoom. Don't forget, hit that like, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.